Hey guys, Midnight Sun here. I've made another video of Magic the Gathering. This time we'll be jumping into our third ever draft, and it's going to be entered sort of midway through the process. Why you'll see in the video. Again, another stream warning. This is not so very well rehearsed content, and I tend to speak really fast for some reason while I'm Twitch. I'm trying to improve on that. But again, if you do enjoy, please watch, and I hope you like it. Where I play Magic the Gathering Arena. I was originally gonna do this in my own private time. This is the third time I've drafted ever, and I've been playing Magic now for about 10 days or something like that. But I thought I'd share it because it turned out quite interesting. Let's see. It was definitely a Dominaria draft. As you can see, I'm quite midway into the draft. We have 2 losses and 5 wins so far. So a really good result, but it's not about the result, it's what I've drafted. As you can see here, I have a mono green deck. Now you might ask, how do you end up with a green deck? Usually people have 2 colors, right? Because when you draft, you tend to pick the best cards, and it's never going to be 1 color. So this is either a very good green draft, or I've been very responsible, and it's not a very good green draft. So yeah, let me just share this, okay? How do we make this a bit more presentable? This search occupies most of the screen. That's not really what I want. Let's see, let's just do it like this. So, how did I end up with a mono green deck? It doesn't happen very often, unless you just... actually, that's kind of what happened. The one way you can end up with a mono deck, which means you play only one of these colors, because usually it's the combination of the 2, so you pick one and stick with it. The way you usually end up with this is, if you get a really good card on your first turn, you tend to keep it. But it's a card that requires a lot of green mana, a lot of red mana, a lot of black mana, and so on, that you can... it's difficult to fit into a black deck, for example. If this really good card that you got on the first pick, it costs 3 black mana, it's really hard to fit into a blue deck, because you just need a lot of black mana. It's going to be mostly blue, and then you can splinter it some mostly black, and then you can splinter in some blue and so on, or maybe white, or whatever you're forming your composition with. But that's, in retrospect, that's what I should have done. But I thought, this card, this specific card, it's 3 mana, 3 green mana. It would be kind of difficult to incorporate something else into it. So I just said, you know, this is my first card, and I'm just gonna go with green, which is very responsible decision. But it's a really good card, and I've kind of built my deck around it. So it's 3 mana. It comes as 5/4, which is 5 strength, 4 endurance, or is it strength? 5 power, 4 strength, something like that. 4 toughness, you know what I'm saying. And not only that, but it doesn't come with any, you know, you have to sacrifice a creature or do something fancy to cast this, and so on. It just comes out as 5/4, and it has this feature, which is this card can be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So if you summon this on turn 3, and it can be blocked by creatures that have power of 2, so if you have like one of the great defenders, like 2/4 or 2/5 or something, it can block it. So it's a really good card. And so I thought, and some people agree, and I've built a mono green deck around it. So yeah, and it's doing pretty well right now. But let's see what enables this, right? So we have a big dude. We want to cast this as early as possible. So what do? We pick things like Land of our Elves. You place this card on turn 1, then you can tap it to add mana. So we need 3 mana to cast this. Suddenly we kind of only need 2, because Land of our Elves add 1 more mana, right? So not only this is a huge creature, it can come at turn 2. So I thought, wow, let's get me some Steel Leaf Champion. I was looking for Land of our Elves. I finally found it. I've only found 1. I also have Land of our Scout, which lets me put a land from my hand into the battlefield. So instead of casting 1 land in a turn, you can cast 2 land in a turn. So imagine this. You get your Land of our Elves turn 1. Yeah, actually, it does. The Land of our Scout doesn't really help with Steel Leaf Champion, because it still comes on in turn 2 if you place Land of our Elves. But Land of our Scout does the same that Land of our Elves does. It allows you to play Steel Leaf Champion possibly on turn 2. And then you just win, I think. It's not what's been happening with this deck, but I'm just saying that it has very powerful possibilities, right? So what else? I'm running 2 Adventurous Impulses, which is probably a pretty bad card, but what it does, it lets you search for a card. And what card are we searching for? Of course, it's the Steel Leaf Champion. So this lets me get into the play faster. I've also added 2 armaments, because we've been dying to... we actually lost one match, just because the opponent had an overwhelming flying creature and we couldn't deal with it. So we've added Arbor Armaments. They pretty much gain you reach, which lets you fight flying creatures. So yeah, I believe I've got 1 Land of our Envoy, which doesn't really add mana. I think it just changes the type of mana. I might be wrong on that, but it's kind of irrelevant, because this is 3 mana, and if I have 3 mana, I'm probably casting Steel Leaf Champion anyway, right? So yeah, Adventurous Impulse, Arbor Armament. What are other features of his deck? Corrosive Ooze, just kind of a 2/2 blocker. Sapronal Migration, also 2/2, also can be kicked and helps in late game if it comes to that. It's just a good card in general, I think. Gift of Growth, I had 2. I've changed 1 into Arbor Armament, so I'm now running only 1. That also helps. It's an instant. It helps you trade and so on. Kind of protects Steel Leaf Champion as well. Jousting Lance has been actually good for different reasons. Let's see what are the different reasons. Servant, just another drop. That's 1/3 for 2. It's just decent. Croissant Druid has actually been helping us, because we have a lot of fat dudes like Steel Leaf Champion and Primordial Worms, of which we have 3 Primordial Worms, which is another big dude that's not as good as Steel Leaf Champion because it doesn't come so early, but we have an insane late game with the Worms. So the way this deck wins is we hope that the enemy kinda doesn't have removal and is not all that aggro. We hold on just enough until we can cast Steel Leaf Champion or the Worms. And then we kinda chill a bit and eventually win, I think. That's kind of how it's been working. And the Croissant Druid helps us come back. It costs an insane amount of mana. Actually 8 mana if you want to kick it, but when you do kick it, you gain 10 life. So if I'm not really drawing anything, the Druid really helps to regain life and stay in the game until some of these big guys can come out. Another solid card, just holding off. Howling Golem, honestly shouldn't probably even be here, but what else am I running? a Llanova Envoy, another Gaia's Protector. Gaia's Protector now, this has been surprisingly good for me. Because, as I've said, one of the weaknesses of this deck is that it can't really deal with the flyers. None of these guys have reach. So, you're asking, how does Gaia Protector help from flyers, right? Well, if you put a Jousting Lance on it, it gains first strike and it has to be blocked. Why does it have to be blocked? Because of what this says over here. Gaia's Protector must be blocked if able, and he has first strike. So that's 6 damage on him, and he has first strike. So most of the time he's just going to kill a creature and the opponent has to block, which wins us a lot of time to get our big guys out. It can kill occasionally, but most importantly it helps to deal with flyers and creatures that would otherwise just sit there and gain something of benefit for our opponent. Maybe it's casting Saprolinks, maybe it's raising zombies or doing something else, but doesn't attack itself. This creature can kill something like that because it has to be blocked. And with the Jousting Lance, it tends to win. I've been having problems against some cards that have first strike and 2 attack. That's the obvious downside, so it's not like it's amazing. But I'm pretty sure it has won us some games as well. It again helps us to hold off until we have Primordial Worm and so on. Foreign Elemental is just another big dude. I've only seen it once and I've already played 7 games, I think. The Manic of Dominaria is the last asset of this deck. It's not really that good, but it's a saga, and I wanted to pick a saga because in my mind they have to be good. But it works pretty nicely here. So what this does, it returns creatures from your graveyard. It also takes your graveyard and shuffles back into your library so that you don't really lose any of the things that you cast. Because I've had my creatures die with a Jousting Land, for example. The Gaia's Protector dies and the Jousting Lands can't be used on him anymore, and we're losing a lot of defense and so on. But this card allows to get these creatures back. I've also had a lot of worms removed by assassination spells and the like, and they did come back with Mending of Dominaria. Same thing for our Sea Leaf Champion, which is the ace card of this deck. Whenever this dies and goes to our graveyard, we can actually get it back with Mending of Dominaria. So it's not just a one-time threat, it can come back 2 times and hurt. So I've been talking for long enough. I wanna kinda talk about this card. It's simply another mana that adds you colorless mana. It also allows you to scry, which helps us to find the cards we need, like the Leaf Champion and so on. But mostly I just really like the art, so I picked it. It looks really cool though. If you look at the disposition, we have 18 lands with this deck. I know Dominaria kinda wants to run more land in general. About 20 actually, we have 22. Actually I'm surprised. Why does this add 2 mana? I thought I only had the Void. But something else adds mana. So we have a lot of mana sources. Actually probably too much. I should probably cut the Void. But this is the deck I've been running and I'm feeling sort of okay with it. So yeah, lots of mana sources, which is what you should do. One great card and several cards that enable it, and the other cards sort of allow us to stay alive. Probably too few creatures, but the creatures that come out are big enough. So there we go, you probably want to see a game, because I sure want to play one. What did I change? I didn't change anything. Save or discard the changes. Discard changes, I don't know. Oh, and actually, when I've said I've been watching streams and learning from people, this is the guy I've been mostly watching and learning from. There's another guy too, but I forgot him. I've only been watching him for like 2 days and he's not streaming on the weekend. If I remember it, maybe I'll post it in the description. No, I shouldn't say that because I will commit to it and I will not do it. White or red spells doesn't affect us. Winning is good. Reward packs and so on. What card is that actually? A blue-red deck. Now that's fun. I've been playing a blue with blue a little bit and I quite liked it. This guy doesn't like it. So let's play our draft. As you can see, this is quite a way into the draft. We're almost done actually. It's either going to be 2 wins or 1 loss, or a win and a loss. But let's just see how it works. I didn't want to. Well, I should say I didn't plan on showing this first, but it was an interesting kind of draft, and I'm not committing as much of your time, I guess, if I jump midway into the draft. So this is kind of what I'm doing. I thought it was interesting to share. Okay, so we have this Voltec Servant and the Jousting Lance, which makes this 3/3 on turn 4 or something. Not very good, but I don't know any better. This might be a mulligan, but we have a lot of forest. Hopefully we'll draw more creatures. It doesn't seem too bad. Oh, another forest. That's not great. But if we do have a lot of forests and we can cast them, maybe something big can come out. I do have that card as well, it's actually really good. This just untaps himself usually, don't know why. I've really not been using this interaction. This is kind of a risky guy. It gains us cards, it gains the enemy cards. Lanova Elves, so it's a black-green, and kind of what I've been playing. So, do we do the lance? Equip only a sorcery, so he can't do anything fancy like that. It will be... Oh, we have the steel champion actually. Ho ho ho, yeah, I'm into that. I kinda want the lance just so I could counter his lance. But always attack first, so he doesn't know what you're using the mana for. That's also something I've learned from day 9. Bam. And now we do cast the Leaf Champion. This kinda makes an amazing red-green though. Doesn't it? Like, you get this guy with haste, because one of the goblins that's red has haste, and it can cast. Ouch! It can, as I was saying, it can cast it on other creatures. So this could come out with haste in a green-red deck. So yeah, this is kind of what I've been scared of. So instead of playing Route Sea Leaf Champion, we're now just going to... think this is fine. We're now just going to hope for the big dudes, the worms, to come out. Can always attack with that. Actually, maybe I should have equipped him. I should also remember this only gives you first strike if you're attacking. 3-5 with reach. That's going to be problematic. 5 mana. 2 for this, 5 for this. Makes it 3-3. Still gets blocked and actually destroyed. This can become 4-3, so the lance is kind of useless. And I can cast both the lance and the protector. So let's just go into combat and probably skip the combat because he can block. And just cast the protector. This also gives us card draw if we need it. This is something we only really want at 8 mana. Yeah, and he's green, so he's also as mean as anyone. Yeah, that's painful, very painful. I think I need the lance. So it becomes a 6-2. That's not good. Because it still doesn't kill the elemental. But what else am I going to do? This is potentially 4-3. Doesn't kill it, of course. And I'm also really scared of this. Let's get this guy just in case. And equip this guy. It does have to be blocked. I could try to do something with a golem, maybe. But maybe not. So I can't run this guy in. Because he will get blocked and die. He can run this guy in, and I can't really block him. I mean, it's definitely no attackers. I just don't know what I'll do after that. Let's just check in if anyone's watching. Probably not, I don't expect it. No, it's just me. So okay, this is basically for YouTube then. Yeah, the Viscerate was unfortunate. We need to bide time somehow. He doesn't have that many cards. Oh, neither do we. If you gain 8 mana, this... So this is 9, so if I block this guy... There's still 3 damage left. Oh, actually no, there's like 7 damage left, right? Because this only takes 2. 7 damage, 3, 6, 7. If you block with all of these guys, but then he can kill this. Yeah, there's just no blocking solution. He just kills all of our board. That's too bad. The tokens aren't very good. Aren't very good at all. He's pretty much blocking everything. Can cast this lady. Although if I use this now, because we can block anyway. I'll just destroy Saproling, really. So perhaps attacking is not that good. Well, I mean, he kills this, and then he still has 7, and we can only deal 4, 6. Doesn't really work. So we do this. He blocks with a Saproling. This goes in anyway. Actually, he can deal the damage next turn. Can I re-equip this on another guy? Only kills the scout. How many times can I do that? Like 2? Doesn't really help. Oh, I thought I could attack again. Yeah, my bad. We can't even. I was just under time pressure. So this deals damage and fucks us up. And we can't really do anything about it. Vigilance, trample. No, we're just kinda dead, man. We could kick this. Wish I hadn't changed the lance guy. So we can make this 8-7. Still kills him in one strike and deals us damage though. Yeah, no bueno. So I think we're just dead no matter what we do. Need just one more mana. We attack with everything just because. Oh, we gained the forest. That would have been enough mana. Maybe I should have attacked with the golem. How much damage is that? 8? 5, 6, 7. That's 11. I wasn't even in time. Anyway, I wanted to show you how the deck works and we've lost horribly. That happens sometimes. Wish I had one more game in store, but oh well. I mean, we're just that. This has trample, this can deal damage even if it dies. Doesn't really matter. Foreign and elemental. Wish I had you. We got a little bit unlucky on the draw. I never drew anything big. And he did. That's fine. I like this deck, basically, is what I'm saying. It's very simple, of course. Oh, and we do have this Wrath of Mages. So 5 wins and 3 losses. This wouldn't usually get us another run, but with the gems that we had from our previous run, we do. So let's open the packs. Return all legendary permanent cards. Urgoros. This, I've been told, is really good by a skilled streamer. He said this was a bomb, and I tend to believe people. I'm not really interested in playing constructed though. Tashar, Ancestor's Apostle. I like Trump of Gerard a lot. Yeah, so basically that's it. We had a mono green deck, and I think that makes us winners in the end. Just because that's kinda crazy. So thanks for watching. Maybe I'll see you next time, and I hope you are mildly entertained. I'm still trying to make it a thing. Bye.